Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Ning. What's happening? What's happening, peeps? What's going on? It's Carlton Lewis, aka Mellow Melanin, aka Mega Businessman, coming to you live and direct, giving the broadcast a little time to catch up with me. And because when it starts, it kind of starts a little slower. The sync, the audio and video off. There we go. Now we know we're doing the right thing. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. And at a minute, we are just going to go all in full force. We're gonna hop right into it. Let's see what's happening with you guys out there. All right, boom. So today, I'd like to welcome you all. This is Carlton Lewis, aka Mellow Melanin, aka Mega Businessman, coming to you live and direct from my home just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm happy to get on this live stream with you guys today. This makes the third or fourth day straight that I've done a live stream, and I'm really excited about it. Because I like delivering this value to you guys, and I hope some people are picking up on this information that I'm giving out. All right, and it's making some differences in their lives. So today we're going to talk about mastering the 2 M's for calling success. You may see me pick up my tablet. I got my notes here on my tablet. I got some better lighting than I had yesterday. Realized how dark the video was yesterday, but like I said, it was my first time. No excuses. It's all about course correction. Just keep moving forward, correct your course, and just move towards your goal. All right, so mastering the 2 M's for calling success. What are the 2 M's? And I got this from Brian and Lynette Wolf, the Wolf couple. They are amazing teachers, and they really help me get over. They're helping me. I'm not going to say I'm totally over it, because I like to be transparent with you guys. They're helping me get over the fear of calling people. And if you guys can hear me, put a thumbs up. Put a comment in there, put a 1 in the chat. We're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. So that's what's up. I see I already got 1 thumbs up. All right. So the 2 M's. The first one is mechanics. And we talked about mechanics the other day when we talked about getting the education and, getting scripts and practicing. And those things are great, right? You have to practice. You have to practice the scripts. No matter what business you're in, you have got to practice the scripts. You have to learn the scripts. If you're selling anything, you need to learn the scripts, because it makes you look more confident. It helps you become more confident, as a matter of fact, and it helps you become more of a professional. All right. Now, hey, Robert, how you doing out there, brother? Thank you so much. And the second one, and this is the most crucial M, and you learn this. I learned a lot of this in network marketing, and I swear, man, that industry is a personal development with a check. And I love it. The second M is mindset. And to step in the mindset is the most important thing when you are making calls, and you want to go into the calls a certain way. And if you guys were on the Facebook Live a few days ago, when I talked about role control, I talked about the 3 keys for mastering the phone, and I talked about role control, and I showed you guys, and it probably was backwards in the other one, but it's a role control chart that I got from the Wolves. And when you step into this role, it gives you this extreme confidence. And it's so funny we're talking about this, because I don't know if you guys are subscribed to Darren Hardy's Darren Daly's. You should definitely subscribe to that if you're looking to be successful. This guy is a success mentor. But he talked about this morning, really, like, kind of, places where you can be great just a few times a week. And in this, when you're doing the calling, you don't have to call 24 hours a day. You know, what what Brian and Lynette say is you need to schedule out 7 to 10 hours a week. Now, let's go ahead and cut the excuses out, right? Because I know most of us are not in essential services. There are a lot of us that are. So big shouts out to you guys that are doing the essential services. Sometimes I go out and do deliveries. I've done deliveries several times within the past couple of weeks, and that's essential services. But I'm not doing that 24 hours a day. And nobody's doing whatever they're doing 24 hours a day unless they're like frontline first responders and, medical professionals, firemen, policemen, whatever, you know. So right now, there's no excuse to cut away and to practice being in a role for 7 to 10 hours a week. It's not a lot of time. It's really not a lot of time. And so this role control mindset is key because you're gonna face a lot of rejection. Like I said, I have my notes here, and I've heard this before, and I don't know who I heard it from, but I heard my mentor Ron LeGrand say this in mastering the phone course that he had. He says, "You're gonna suck at first. You are going to suck. I am going to suck at first, and that's okay. You're supposed to." No one comes out of the womb walking, right? No one does. So you're going to suck at it. But eventually, just like a baby that learns how to walk, you will learn to get better and better. But that comes from practice. It comes from having a certain mindset to know that the majority of people that you talk to are going to say no. And that's okay. So you have to develop, thick alligator skin and be okay with no. Um, one of my mentor also says this too, and I don't know if he made it up, but I learned it from him like 20 years ago. He says SW, 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 SW. And that means some will, some won't, so what? Someone's waiting. Someone's waiting on you. So what if you decide to quit, right just just before you got to that next person? What if you just decided to quit? You've got to keep going. There's a book. It's Go for No. I'm not sure who wrote the book. Maybe it's Hal Elrod. I'm not really sure. I'm not 100% sure who wrote the book, but the book is fantastic. See, most of us will hear a yes and then we'll stop instead of having no goals or production goals. You know, Ray Higdon talks about setting production goals, and so do Brian and Lynette Wolf. You need to be making, what did they say? Uh, about 10 closing calls a week. That's not a lot of calls. That's not hard to do. You can make 10 closing calls in an hour, but if you're using a system where you have someone pre-screen people for you, because I use a system where there's a VA. So, those are the mechanics. But the mindset is, okay, I know that I have to be on this phone and I have to step into this role. In this role, I'm going to get some rejection, but I have to be resilient. I have to be confident. Some of the traits of a successful phone caller, and I'm going to run this off for you guys. Commitment ability, just being able to commit and stick to it. Confidence, communicator, coachable, competitive, charming, capable, considerate, cash hungry, because it is business. So you got to be thinking about money. All right. Clever, a deal maker, a problem solver, resourceful, resilient, and persistent. And I talked about being resilient. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna share a story with you guys. Um, I was on a I was doing the calls yesterday, right? And I did all my positive self talk and everything. I did everything that was on this sheet, right? This role description chart, right? This role definition chart. I did everything that was on there, and so in here, there's a place where you put positive self talk, and you really need to have positive self-talk seriously, before you, if you're, especially if you're new, you're new to getting on the phone and you want to get better at it. I'm not new to getting on the phone, but I want to get better at it. I want to be more consistent, right? So that I say things like, I learned this from Brian Tracy. I like myself, and I say things like, I am master caller me. I am deal maker me. I love making closing calls. I expect success. Yes, yes, yes. I'm a successful real estate investor. Yes, yes, yes. So, having this particular mindset, going into the call, it helps you with the thick skin. So, I called about a property yesterday, right? And the lady had indicated to my virtual assistant that she would be interested in taking monthly payments. Um, and so I'm talking to the lady, and the lady is trying to get me to make an offer over the phone. So we have different agendas. She's trying to get me to make a offer over the phone, and I'm trying to get her to tell me, different questions. If you've been on the Facebook Lives for at least the past couple of days, I talked about the big three. So I'm trying to get the big three questions answered, which are price, what's her asking price, trying to get that down. Um, the second thing is down payment, and the third thing is the monthly payment. So I'm working on these things, and the lady's just consistently telling me to make an offer. And so once we, I'm thinking everything is going smooth, because she gave me some figures. She told me we came, to a down payment number that she gave me, because basically I've learned to let the people, let the sellers make me the offer, right? And so, so we've got the down payment down. I think it was like $5,000 or whatever. We've got the monthly payment down, to about $1,500. And so now I'm at the point, you transition from asking all of these questions, because once you got your questions answered, I had my big three questions answered, right? And so I'm like, okay, this is going good. And then there's an appointment script. And so one of the questions is, are you the only owner of the house? And so I don't know what happened. The lady just flipped. She dropped the F bomb. She's like, I don't know who you think you are, trying to get, all these people, you effing such and such, I can teach you more. Yeah, I've been doing this for 35 years, and there's no way I'm getting six people together just so they come over the house so you can look at it. And I didn't say a word. I didn't say anything. I just kind of, I'm on my earbuds when I'm talking to the lady. So I backed back a little bit and was like, whoa, she couldn't see me, but I just backed up like, whoa, this lady just went from 0 to 60, like in like 2 seconds. And I'm like, okay. And then she just never called me again. I'm like, wow. Okay. So I hung up. And see, this is where the mindset comes into play. The mindset comes into play in the resiliency. So because I could have let that call just shut me down for the rest of the day. I could have, and I didn't. I went right back into my positive self-talk down here. I went right back into the positive self-talk and went back into, I like myself. I am master caller me. I am deal maker me. I love making closing calls. I expect success. Yes, yes, yes. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. There's someone else waiting. And I have to remember, and you have to remember, that the majority of people that you are looking to do business with, if you're prospecting, the majority of the people are going to say no. Okay. And you need to get through those no's as fast as possible. All right. But it was funny. Like I said, I laughed about it, and I laughed about it, and just, that's just the part of the process. And then something else I learned is that the people are not necessarily rejecting you. There's this fear of rejection that I had to get over, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have this when they're dealing with sales. They're worried about the fear of criticism, or the fear of rejection, which is, kind of basically the same, right? So, you know, But what the people are really rejecting is your proposal. They're not necessarily rejecting you. And the problem comes, and it took me a while to learn this. I had to figure out what was going on. And again, I learned it from, I think it was Brian Tracy, in The Psychology of Selling. People are not rejecting you. They are rejecting your proposal. Okay, they're rejecting your idea. It just doesn't work for them. So don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. um you know i I hear people say no, because when I approach people, I approach them about buying their houses with creative financing. Most people who are selling a house, they are wanting to do a traditional sale. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So my job is to find out if they're open to doing creative financing. Most people are not. They could even tell my virtual assistant, yeah, they are open and they would like to learn more about it. But then when I come to clarify, when I call them and clarify if they want it, I'm asking the big three questions. They're like, this is not really, I don't really want to do this. This is not what I'm looking to do. And that's okay. Again, I'm not going to work with everybody. You're not going to work with everybody. So you have to get through those no's. Just have a no goal. Just like, they talked about in Go for No, have a no goal. And for me, it is to make these closing calls every day, scheduling it, scheduling the time when you make the closing calls. That's so important. So I got some calls I need to make this morning. I got a couple of calls I need to make this morning, but traditionally I like to make the calls between 5 and 6. And I know I have to make one later on today at 6:30. But before I make those calls, mindset, I'm going to step into this role. Okay. I'm not going to be in this role all day. I'm not going to be in this character, all day, but I'm going to step into that role when it's time for me to step into that role. So, I don't have to spend a whole bunch of energy all day trying to stay in that role. So I hope you guys are getting this. Mastering these 2 M's, like I said, mechanics. You can do scripts. I got scripts. I got a whole bunch of scripts. I got scripts. Scripts. But you have to practice the scripts, and that's good. Mechanics are good. The better you get, the better you get. It's like a memory, like a muscle memory. Like if people that shoot free throws, they got muscle memory, and shooting jump shots. They have muscle memory, and for that's for basketball. In prospecting, whether it be in network marketing, real estate, any kind of sales or whatever you're doing, you have to learn these scripts. And then eventually you'll know what to say. And knowing what to say is very important. But knowing how to think is supreme. Knowing how to think is supreme, because your mind tells your body what to do. How you're thinking, if you're afraid, people can feel when you're afraid. So you have to be confident, and you don't need to be confident all day. You need to be confident when it's time for you to make these calls. All right. I'm going to open it up for any kind of questions, because at 9:30, I'm going to get off. I like to keep them short and sweet. But if we go over with questions, that's great. If you guys have any questions about anything that I've said, please shoot them at me. Robert, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'll put that. Robert says, awesome training. And I thank you for that, Robert. Anybody else have any thoughts or comments? We're here, like I said, we're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube with my new toy, StreamYard. I like it. I like it. I like it. It could actually stream up to 5 different platforms. It can, but you don't need it to do all 5. To me, you just need the big monsters, which are Facebook and YouTube. So we have the link. I'm in network marketing. Okay, cool. What's happening, Mike? What's happening, Terry? How you doing? And this is what I can do with the little toy. I can put this up here, right? So this is fun. I like doing that. Cuz definitely hit me up, man. It's been a minute since we talked too. Yeah, it's been a minute. Hit me up, cuz. Mike, definitely hit me up. We definitely need to talk. Um, Anybody got any questions for me out there? Any questions about calling on the phone? What kind of successes have you guys had with calling on the phone? Um, or prospecting? I wish I had known some of this years ago. The positive self-talk has been crazy, learning that and just coming to that realization that we can we're basically programming our minds with the things that we hear, the things that we say, and the things that we say subconsciously we don't even know that we're saying to ourselves. And I had to realize that I was really sabotaging myself and really programming my brain to sabotage any efforts to be successful when I was prospecting. And it's crazy. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I still get butterflies. I get them, but action cures fear. The fear is an indicator. That's what Grant Cardone says. Fear is an indicator that you need to take action, and action cures fear. It just makes sense. So, you could suffer. You know, what is there's a quote that says, um, "A hero dies once, but a coward dies 1,000 deaths." And that's because the coward is steadily replaying what they shoulda, woulda, coulda did. And that's real. So you don't want to be that person. You want to take that action, that thing that you're afraid to do. And one of the things I have in my planner, every day I want to do one thing I fear. And right now, the main thing for me is getting on that phone. It's not even so much just, once I get on the phone, it's just picking up the phone, just making it. So I told you guys the other day, I used the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins combined with another 20-second rule with Darren Hardy. And for you guys who don't know what the 5-second rule is, the 5-second rule is I'm counting down 5, 4, 3, 2. No hesitation, I just do it. And then what happens in the 20 seconds, the first 20 seconds of that call, your nervous is you may be nervous, if you're not used to doing it. But once you're into the 20 seconds, once you're past that 20 seconds, things begin to get a whole lot smoother. You begin to calm down, and you just keep on doing that, and that nervousness, it just goes away. All right. So again, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Um, we were at we've been on for about 22 minutes, which is cool. The time is 9:23 on my side. Like I said, I'm gonna wrap it up if I don't see any questions within the next, I don't know, 60 seconds or so. And that's okay. Sometimes people don't have questions, but remember, no question is a stupid question, right? So just get it asked. Um, I'd like to know how you guys are doing it. What kind of strategies are you using to overcome any type of challenges that you have? Because it's all about a skill. It's all about learning skills. I was up this morning doing my miracle morning work. Every morning I like to get up. I like to, you know, meditate in silence. I like to do affirmations. I like to visualize. I like to write, and I like to read, and working on the exercise part. That's all part of it too. Um, but I was reading about skills, and I know this skills are what put money in your pocket. And the better you are at a certain skill, because no one comes out being a number one prospector or a number one, phone person, just right off the gate. It takes a lot of practice, and it's a skill that you practice on. And consequently, this particular skill in real estate investing, when you're doing creative financing, my mentors say this is the most important skill to master. So guess what I'm doing? I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I've tried to do that before. I'm getting too old to reinvent the wheel. I'll be 50 soon. So there's no will reinventing going on here. I'm going to do what this person says because I see their results and I like their results. I like their lifestyle, and the lifestyle I'm after is freedom, true freedom. Um, if you guys ever read The 4 Hour Work Week, Tim Ferriss talks about, not just financial freedom, which is awesome. He talks about time freedom as well. And he also talks about freedom of location, being able to move wherever you want to move. That's freedom. And that's what I'm after. And when I see people experiencing that, I'm like, okay, how did you do it? What did you do to get that? And because that's what I'm after. Now, we got a lot of time freedom right now, whether we want it or not, you know. So this point in time, you know, go learn something. I sat in the summit last week, April the 1st through the 3rd, from 9 a.m. to 4:30, close to 5 p.m. every single day. I may have taken a couple of breaks, but for the most part, I was learning real estate, a lot of aspects of real estate. And so, you know, I encourage you guys to be learning something. Grant Cardone has his Cardone University open for like 30 days for free. I think Darren Hardy has his insane productivity course open for 30 days for $5. And if you go through that, I promise you, you'll understand why that course costs so much. But during this time, get better. So when they flip the switch back on and they say go, you're better. You're already better. You're ahead of the curve. All right. So I hope you guys are getting some value out of this. Once again, we're talking about the two M's, mechanics and mindset, and mindset is key. Mindset is key. I once heard Ayala Van Zant say, and I heard her say this, God, man, it had to be like 20, 25 years ago. She said, wherever the mind goes, the behind follows. And I totally get that. Yep. Wherever the mind goes, the behind follows. And so since I see there's no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Thank you guys for being on this live stream with me. This has been Carlton Lewis, aka Mega Businessman, aka Mellow Melanin, coming to you live and direct just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And don't forget, I am still looking for houses in Metro Atlanta. You can check my website out at www.omnibuyshouses, OMNI, omnibuyshouses.com. All right. And if you want to get some information on how you can start learning real estate, just inbox me and I'll be glad to shoot it over to you. All right. Peace.